I think God came back into my life when I was ready.
How was that presented, or how did you receive that?
Surprisingly, it was TikTok.
TikTok?
Yeah.
Was he making a... Well, welcome to another very soft episode of The Careful Boys, where we're extremely careful, and we are with our good friends here, Above the Influence. Hey.
We're also very careful.
We learned our lessons.
Dude, you should just literally watch all the dumb stuff that we do and then not do it. That's like the whole point.
I feel like we just do it too. So that's what
I feel like that's why we're friends.
Yeah.
I'm not scared anymore.
That's good.
Wow, that's very V from Vendetta. We just talked about that
That's
earlier.
very
She's just
V
not
from
scared
Vendetta.
anymore.
This is good. I've never seen that movie.
I don't think I've ever been scared, to be honest. I think that's my problem.
He's too not scared. He needs to be a little more scared.
The way I view social media and how I always is I've spent too much time alone hating myself and working on myself for random motherfuckers on the internet that don't know me when I know the true nature of my soul and intentions. I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
So, but now I'm reaching that level where it's like perception. I don't care about how people perceive me, but I have people around me that might. So now I'm toning it down just a tad bit for the people I care about.
That's growth.
See, that is growth. That's maturity.
That's tight. So you mentioned earlier that when you guys had started your UTI journey to where you are now, you've evolved and become different people. And one of the things that you highlighted was that Viet found God.
I did find God, yeah.
We all found God. I mean, he was always religious, but I wasn't. And then I am now.
Yeah, actually, I think I was the only person that started it religious and believing in God, and then Jeremy now work. You guys know Johnny Chang. That's what he does now is he works with Johnny Chang. He's locked in.
Mm-hmm.
He loves it.
Yeah.
Dope.
Wow. So how was that journey for you?
I would say, because I was raised Catholic, but due to family life and personally my dad, viewing the things he did and then trying to say I couldn't grasp the concept of humans can do whatever they like and they would still get forgiven. I didn't understand the true nature of that, and I also didn't like it until I learned more about Christianity. And I would say I never walked away from God. I would classify almost I turned my back away from God out of spite, but I never truly stopped walking with God. Because at my core, I've always cared about being a good person, living with good intentions, living the right way, and doing the right things, And it was just a few years of just harboring anger and hatred of the world, of Christianity, of a lot of things.
Yeah.
And the more I healed, and the more I grew, and the more I learned, I think God found me. I didn't find God again. I think God came back into my life when I was ready. Mm-hmm. And then
How was that presented, or how did you receive that?
Surprisingly, it was TikTok.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Was he making a...
I saw people dressed.
Jesus was straight up.
It was and I've said this before.
I found you.
I think Johnny Chang. Well, honestly, the first thing that really did it was this man right here. When even at my most stubbornness of I don't believe in God and I probably never will again, right? He didn't do it in a way that pushed me further away. It was just more well, I believe in God, and this is how, and I just told him this recently actually, is there was one thing he said that really stuck with me, even though I never reacted to it, I never gave attention to it. It was when I first met him, he was and we argue about God, he was it's not that I'm trying to push Christianity onto you, it's the belief that one day I will be saved and I love you so much that when that day comes, I want you to be with me, right? And I never said anything to him, and I don't think he truly understood how much that hit me. And maybe I didn't even understand how much that hit me. But yeah. So he was a large factor of that. And then going down the road, Johnny Chang was another factor. I'm actually the one that reached out to Johnny. Mm-hmm. And then Cliff was, I think, the final, this old white guy that explains the Bible very well on TikTok. And this is why I say TikTok. I kept seeing clips of Cliff explaining Christianity in a way that was very easy to digest and easy to relate to, and not in a way that was damning or telling people that you shouldn't be this and this and this. It was more preaching of it's okay that you are this. Jesus will still love you. God will still love you. And I also think I reached a maturity level where I was just so sick and tired of, when as life has been so good. No matter how many friends I had, no matter how much money, no matter everything I had, I was just always empty. At the end of the day, when all my friends went to sleep, I felt alone. Still in that like dark room in my soul, you know.
And you think now finding God, you feel full? Like it just feels
fuller. I think I still have a very long walk, and I think my testimony is still not fully complete. But yeah, I mean that was my journey, and it's been a beautiful one.
You changed a lot. Like you grew a lot. If you see like the beginning of UTI and then the end, it's so different. That's why I wish we still had the videos, because it's such a beautiful journey.
just hack the account and then save the stuff.
Like, yeah.
I wish I was smart enough.
wish I could.
What's some of the differences?
In what way did you change? Like, did your lifestyle change? Like,
I think my lifestyle changed a lot actually, but it's also like with that comes, or with age comes that too. So I joined when I was like 20, 21, 22, I think.
wow.
No, 23, I think. It was like a year after I moved to LA. Yeah. And the year I turned 25, you know that cliche of like, you turn 25, your mental or your frontal lobe develops. It's honestly true. At 25, I still notice it to this day. It's like, I'll view just every situation differently. Whereas it used to be like, if something minuscule went wrong, my world would just collapse.
Bro, I think mine was 35.
Still waiting for mine.
Still waiting, yeah.
You have the extended release.
Mine's still buffering.
Fuck.
Mine's a little damaged.
Everything I used to say, well, not everything, but a lot of the like I used to not care about the gym. Is a very large factor. Was like, I love the gym now. I feel wrong if I don't go to the gym. And I never thought I would be that type of man.
Yeah.
I love God. And if you had asked me even a year ago, I was like, God is whatever. Cool to people who believe in him. That's cool. But not for me.
When I first met him, he had this very dark energy around him, and he was very angry at the world.
Yeah.
But now he's just way brighter.
They'll tell you when they first met me, it was obviously I'm always kind of like who I am, right? But there were moments where no one would talk or whatever, and suddenly I would just break down, like burst out in tears. There was one time we were coming back from a trip, and I was in the backseat of the car.
Oh yeah.
And I don't remember what triggered it, but out of nowhere, I couldn't control it. Broke down, blah blah. It was a lot of soul healing. I have to heal my soul.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's cool. I'm glad you found that pathway, dude.
Finding it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's really inspiring.
That's why it's like going back to everything. Like I don't really care about what people on the internet or people that don't truly, even in real life, people that don't know who I am. I've never really cared about their impressions of me because like I spent way too much time not like isolating, trying to figure out what my heart is, what my soul is, and who I am. Yeah.
It's like no one could beat me up harder than I beat myself.
Yeah, that's right.
I've said that because I've said multiple times, it's like no one could hate me as much as I've hated myself. There's moments I've woken up thousands of times where I look in the mirror, no one can hate me as much as I used to hate myself. Due to wanting to be better, wishing I could be better.
Also, the people that spew like the most hate on the internet and judge you, I feel like they also have some healing to do.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
Healed people don't really go on the internet judging other people and leave negative comments. So
It makes them feel better.
yeah, like don't take criticism from someone that you wouldn't want to trade places with.
Oh, I never have.
Yeah.
That's why when I argue about them, it's never been, I hope you heal. It's, I'm better than you, bitch, shut up.
It always goes like,
I'm better than you. Shut up. I'm Christian.
Oh, no, I would never say, I don't think I'm better than anyone just because I found God. I to this day, like, I still argue with some of my friends that are Christian and use it almost as a, like an excuse to hate on people or condemn people. I don't believe, like, I don't like
I think they're like the least Christian. They're only Christian by like paper. But they don't follow the rules of God. That's what pushed me away from the church. Is there was so much hypocrisy, so much like, and they compete a lot at church. Like who's got the nicest car? And I'm like, that's like the most materialistic anti-Christ.
especially like full Asian churches too. Because that's what I grew up in.
All competition.
Comparing, and I'm like, dude, I find more godly people outside of the church. And I was like, dude, I don't know, but have you guys been seeing like a resurgence in like so many people openly talking about religion or specifically Christianity and like being more devout? I feel like something happened during like COVID.
There's a movement
Where-
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they're going in harder now for whether it's Christianity or Islam, like people are going harder into all this stuff when before I think everyone was casually or like whatever. I don't know what's going on.
Well, do you think it's just mainly social media though? 'Cause,
It's like a
before,
trend?
I feel like they were already doing it. It's just like now with the platform leaning towards that type of content creation.
No, I think it's more open. Like people are down to talk about it openly now. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like
Oh,
it's
the
also
social media?
become like content.
It's cool to be religious, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I feel like also Johnny did something where now even like his friends, they didn't like fuck with religion, but they see him and they're like, you know what? It's actually kind of cool to be religious. Like he kind of makes it cool too, you know? And I think in that way, I also think
society was just moving, like, in the early 2000s, it's like everything is just like a cycle, right? Like, you know that meme of like weak men create, weak men create hard times create strong men. Yeah. That cycle, that like history is so like just cyclical, and where it's like we were pushing like degen behavior was cool, right? Like every movie that came out of like the 90s, early 2000s, like the cool guys, the guys that got all the girls and did all the things you want to do, were doing drugs, disrespecting their parents, like doing all these bad things. And I think that like created a society where everyone that was cool or wanted to be counterculture was like that. But then that got so popular that that's what everyone's like. So now everyone has like a desire to rebel, I think, especially like there's like rebels in every society. And I think the rebels of nowadays are like, yo, that shit is not that cool. It's empty. It's like meaningless. Like, and they're looking for purpose. And then obviously, divine purpose kind of like beats everything else, in my opinion. So I think it's just swinging back because people are kind of fed up with like the degeneracy.
Yeah. Also, like the economy has just turned to shit since COVID. There's a lot of like health scares, and I think when people suffer, they're kind of they start looking for like a higher being or purpose. So maybe that's
very true.
I see Christianity 2.0 coming. Cause
2.0. It's only been around for like 2,000 years.
Yeah, this is maybe 5.8, right?
Internet gen. I hope that when my kid gets to his like adult years, the cool for him is to have a good life. Because you know, like you'll see like one generation of parents, they're like all these white collar people, then their kids are like either punk rock or they're like some sort of anti-society, the opposite. Then the parents that were former like rockers and skaters, all of a sudden their kids like school again. Yeah. And like it's like that cycle.
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
Hopefully like somehow.
Well, with you as his dad, I feel like that's a guarantee, right? Like
no, with him as his dad, he's gonna be
he's gonna be a doctor.
He's gonna be weak, dude. You're gonna give him too good of a time. Good times create weak men.
I know, that's the fucking problem.
You gotta make it tough times create strong men.
I know, dude. He's got a DJ toy.
I ain't got that for him. That is what I'm worried about too. I'm like, fuck.
Y'all taking him camping and shit, dude, quality stuff. You say things like "I love you." That's crazy.
No trauma.
You're like, it's okay.
No trauma.
You like don't believe in like hating him and shit.
I know.
Too much support.
Dude. This guy's literally gonna piece of tissue paper.
He's not gonna be able to vibe out with other Asian kids like when they talk about getting their ass beat.
He can't relate. No matter what I do, that's wrong.
Yeah.
He's gonna have no friends, and then he'll start to learn that tough times create strong men.
I know.
He comes home, I hate you, Dad. You love me too much.
He's gonna hate me no matter what.
What are you doing?
Start drinking or something. Yeah, I was taking him back home from school. We ride our little e-bikes. And I was like, hey, you have homework today? He goes, yeah, I hate homework. I'm like, dude, I fucking hated homework too, dude. I'm like, that shit sucks. That's your hard times you're putting on him. And he goes, for real? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, and then, Dad, you hate homework too? And I was like, Dad, I hate homework too. Shit's so boring. I'm like, why do we gotta do the same things did in class at home? He goes, see? I'm like,
too relatable. You have to not.
Bart's like, see, this is why I got kicked around all the schools. I went to 6 high schools.
Hey, didn't you guys start praying though with Taika at night?
Yeah, so
how you gonna pray when you're not even Christian?
I just pretend.
And who you praying to?
Yeah.
So my wife grew up Catholic. I guess I grew up Buddhist, but I'm not really religious. We knew we wanted some sort of spirituality at home, because it feels like it's healthier to know that you're like part of like a greater purpose. So we just kind of pray to a God, not really naming the God or the religion. And when we pray at night, we mainly pray about the things. At first, we were praying, he'd be like, I hope I get like a box of Pokemon cards. I'm like, this is not a genie. You don't ask
Different
for
rules.
things. Yeah, like you either talk about, we go through like what you're grateful for that day. So you're always grateful and a grateful mindset. And then if you want to pray or ask for things, it has to be for other people. So if someone else is like sick or someone else is going through a hard time, then you ask for blessings for other people. And we do that every night, which is pretty cool.
And Taika's like, God, please allow my dad to receive Pokemon cards. So that
It's a good loophole.
I'd be proud if that was my son. I'm like, you found an angle.
I'd put him into business or law right away.
This might work. I don't know. I might get some Pokemon cards out.
I love seeing your videos with Taika though.
Oh, thank you, man.
Bonding.
Yeah.
He's so cute. Does he think you're a cool dad?
Does he think I'm a cool dad?
Nah, dude's got more stripes on his belt than you.
I think right now, just because of his age, he thinks I'm cool. Cause I'll try to do things to try to embarrass him in front of his friends, and it doesn't work yet. So do you guys know what you know, fucking greedy or whatever? Is that like a dance?
Oh, you mean the Tame Crazy?
Gritty or whatever.
Gritty.
Right?
Oh, the gritty.
The gritty. He's doing the fucking gritty or whatever. So every time I pick him up from school, he'll be like, the right foot, 3 foot, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just like right in front of the right foot. I just do it right in front of him, and then it's just me and him dancing like that with fucking 200 other kids and other parents.
That's so cute.
And he thinks it's the coolest thing ever. Or now at school, he's like, can I get a hi? Yeah? I'm like, hi, yeah. And
He goes for a parent-teacher conference. He's like interrupting everybody.
and he's like cool with it. But I was hoping it's gonna be like I go, oh yeah, and he's like, Bart, stop it.
You're hoping?
Maybe one.
I'm just thinking about the other 199 other kids that are looking at you like, I wish my father was like that. And they're all gonna be strong men. The rest of them will be strong men.
Even the women.
Even the women.
This is so crazy.
Yeah, I try to like, I think be his friend, but also know that at home there's boundaries, and I set those boundaries up. But like, I feel like I try not to have to put the, I'm your dad, so you have to listen to me law, you know, hat on, you know?
Do you like fear the day he's gonna one day look at you and be like, grow up, dad?
That'd be a dagger, bro. That hurt my feelings.
That'll probably kill me. Like one day I show up to school in like a Spider-Man onesie. What the fuck? I'm like, oh! What I just say?
He's a senior in high school. He's at Taika's prom. He's like, hey, dude, what's up?
He goes through puberty, he finally has a girlfriend, this guy comes out, can I get out?
Remember? We used to do this?
The gritty by himself, this is our thing!
It's already old.
It'll happen.